Mute. Oh, okay, hold on. Can you hear me now? Okay, hold on. I may have to start this again. You can hear me now. I don't know why it's doing that. I had hoped to use the sound from my I don't know. I don't know what's happening, friends. I'd hoped to use the sound from my phone and mute my computer, but that's not working. So now I am muted on my phone and I'm using the sound. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm not going to use any AirPods or anything like that today because I don't know, the universe doesn't want me to. Okay, let me flip this so you guys can see my face. Thank you guys for helping me troubleshoot through all this. Good morning, friends. I hope you guys are all doing well and having a great weekend. Good morning, Tammy, Shirley, Brenda, Keisha. Good morning, Sonia. Hello, Betty. Hello, everybody. Hello, Sandy. Good morning, Natalie. Okay, you can see and hear me now. That is good. Good morning, Gail. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Margaret Ann. Okay, thank you guys. You know what? I really need some coffee, clearly. I slept in today, not like, and by sleeping in, I mean like 7 o'clock or 7:20, I should say. I didn't set an alarm and stuff because I haven't been sleeping very well over the last few weeks. I've had some back issues and just we've had stuff happening at home with my mother-in-law and stuff. So I feel like I haven't been sleeping well. So last night I was like, I'm just not going to set an alarm. I'm just going to try and go for it. And what that meant was that I had a little less time to kind of play around with my technology this morning. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Allison, Terry from Colorado. Good morning, Nicole, Janice. Oh my goodness, so many friends up this morning. Good morning, Cindy. So please do let me know where you're watching from. I know Terry's watching from Colorado. I know where some of you live. I know some of you are kind of local, but I always love to know kind of who's joining and from where in the world. So do tell me in the comments. I will tell you what we are doing today. I am going to be playing with a product from our celebration brochure, which I'll flip the screens so you can see it close up after. And I'm going to be showing you a really simple layout. A way that you can cut your designer series paper and use it for a very simple card or a more stepped up card. It's just kind of a tip for cutting your designer series paper, creating a fun little background, and being able to create many, many cards in a short amount of time. Thank you for sharing, Karen. Okay, so one of the things that I always say to people is if you love what you're seeing and if you have friends and family that you think might enjoy seeing it as well, please do share the video and let me know below that you've shared it and I will enter you into a drawing to win the card that I'm making today. I am a little behind and I haven't had a chance to do last week's drawing. So if you share it, just make sure you comment below so that I know to enter you into the drawing. So without further ado, actually, I should probably introduce myself for those that are watching for the first time. My name is Zara Premji and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and creative coach from Markham, Ontario, Canada. I have been a demonstrator for almost 9 years. And I got into stamping kind of accidentally, I would say. I was invited to a stamping party by a friend of mine, and I just was like needing a break. I was a busy mom, working full time, doing all the regular day-to-day bedtime, bath time, homework, dinner, all the things. And I just needed a little bit of an outlet because I felt like I didn't really have something that was for me. And I just wanted a night out, and I was kind of just taken aback by how much I loved doing the card making. I thought, oh my goodness, this is so easy. Totally can do it in a short amount of time. So it was kind of like the perfect hobby for a busy mom. And that's kind of grown. So I've built a business. I have a large team and I have met so many incredible people and have just, my community has just expanded in a way that I could have never imagined. So that includes all of you. I want to thank you all for being here today. And I am going to flip the screen so you can hopefully see my desktop now. And we're going to get started with some card making. So let me show you what I'm going to be playing with. And I'm sorry you have to see this, but my nose is kind of runny. And hopefully that means nothing, especially right now. I don't know about you guys, but anytime anyone coughs or anytime anyone's sniffling, Everyone's on high alert. So right now we are in the midst of our amazing promotion. It runs from it started January 4th and runs through to February 28th. And it is called Celebration for those that are unfamiliar with that. And basically, what this means is that we have amazing free product available to you when you shop. So if you place an order of $60 or more Canadian, you will get to pick an item for free from our Celebration catalog. If you decide that you have a long wish list of stuff and you feel like I need to kind of figure out the cheapest way to get all of this stuff, then you can join Stampin' Up. So you can essentially purchase our starter kit, and that allows you to choose $165 in product and pay only $135, no tax, no shipping. And you get to pick 2 free stamp sets. So any 2 free stamp sets you want, and this is only until February 28th. You can pick the 2 most expensive in the catalogs. And we have, I think, some that are kind of upwards of $50. So you essentially could get an additional, $80 to $100 in stamp sets for free when you purchase the starter kit. And then you can also host. So if you feel like there's a lot of stuff and you'd like to get some of it for free, you can get a group of friends together and I can help you with all the links and the catalogs and all of that. And you could do kind of like a fun little Facebook party and get some host rewards. So you can get product for free as well as an exclusive host stamp set. So let me show you what we are going to be playing with today. I'm going to be using the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. I did use that last week as well. And I am kind of in love with it, I'm not going to lie. And so I wanted to just show you how you can use this awesome designer series paper to create a really fun and easy layout for cards. And you can take this layout and adapt it to any paper that you have. So if you don't happen to have this on hand or you want to use a different designer series paper, you can use that for this really simple layout. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we have our new mini catalog, which launched on January 4th. And sorry, there's a little bit of a glare here. Let's see if I can kind of get rid of that. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. So we have our mini catalog, and there is lots of amazing products in here right now that are perfect for any occasion. So covers you for Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, sympathy, thank you, anything that you need, you'd be well covered in this catalog. So if you don't already have a demonstrator and you would like one of these mailed to you, let me know and I will mail that. We do have a host code, and that is this little alphanumeric code there that I've shown in the bottom. So if you decide to place an order, then if you use this host code and your order is $50 or more, you're going to get some additional free goodies from me. So you will get an all-star tutorial bundle. So that is a video tutorial bundle that has 12 different projects, as well as videos, supply lists, measurements, etc., for free. And if you will also get a free gift and a reusable card from me in the mail. Okay. So I am going to get started with the crafting, and I hope that you will continue commenting because I always love being able to chat with all of you. I am going to take a little swig of my coffee before we get started. And tell me in the comments, did anyone get any crafting done this weekend? I would love to know if you did any crafting. I know my friend Jamie did. So I'm always trying to find time to do some crafting on my weekends, and during the week as well, but weekends are also kind of me time, and I love to spend time doing some crafting. Good morning, Deborah, watching in a very cold Minnesota. Thank you to my friends from YouTube that are watching. So I can now see where everybody's watching from, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. And so it's kind of fun to see that we've got friends joining from both. And it's nice to be able to be in 2 places at once. Okay, the first card I'm going to show you is a really simple card. And this is using our note cards and envelopes. I would say this is a great card for someone who's just kind of getting started with paper crafting, or if you just kind of want to make a bunch of quick and easy cards and not have to worry about cutting all your cardstock. So our note cards and envelopes come in a package of 20. So you get 20 of each, the note cards and envelopes. And they already come pre-cut and scored. So there is actually like I don't know if you can see it here. Good morning, Heather from YouTube. There is totally a shadow. I can't figure out how to I don't know how to do this, but there is a score line here. And so these are a smaller version of a kind of a standard card base. And all you do is just take your card base and you fold it and on the score line. Okay. And then I'm going to take a piece of our designer series paper. So this is a 6x6 pack. Again, this is one of the items that you can actually choose for free with an order of $60 or more. I'm going to take this pattern here that has the misty moonlight background, and then it's got lots of fun rainbows and suns and clouds and all of that. So you're going to grab your paper trimmer, and this I would say is kind of like one of the most essential tools for paper crafting. So even though you're not necessarily cutting your card bases, you will still want to be able to cut your, designer series paper. I just got to do one quick thing for a sec. I got to measure just to make sure I get this right because I didn't write it down. Okay, so you're going to take your designer series paper and you're going to cut it to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, so we're going to take our designer series paper, cut it to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and I will write that down. 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to slide your designer series paper over to the 1 1/4 inch marking. So when you're doing kind of a smaller segment, I would say it's probably beneficial to use the right side of your trimmer. So I've looked for the 1 inch, and then I'm going to the next 1/4 inch marking, and I'm cutting that to 1 1/4. Did I get that right? Yes. 1 1/4. And put that aside, and then you're going to flip it over, especially if there's a directional pattern to it. If there isn't, then it's fine. And then I'm just going to flip that over and cut it again at 1 1/4. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces here and then this one here. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and lay it down onto my note card like so. Okay, and the other piece that you cut off from your designer series paper, don't get rid of that because we're going to use that to decorate the envelope. So I find with this particular layout, it's helpful to use liquid glue, and you want to stick this down, the middle piece down first. Okay, so the widest piece you're going to stick down first and just sort of eyeball it. If you feel like that's difficult for you and you need to kind of make a marking to know, where the center point of your note card is, then go ahead and do that. The note cards are 5 inches long, so you would be making a marking at 2.5 inches. Good morning, Kathy. Kathy's feeling very cold in White Bear. Oh my goodness. Lots of people finding more time to craft. So Janice is starting to replenish her birthday card stash. Betty finished up 10 more Christmas cards for next year. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe it. It's January, what is it? January the 9th, and you've started on Christmas cards, and Janice says she does her Christmas cards all year long as well. That, you know what, that might be a good strategy and would probably help me not feel so behind when it comes to November and December. That's really smart. Okay, so I'm just sticking this down, and then I'm taking this piece of designer series paper, just the last narrow piece, and I'm going to stick that down here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do have a little bit more space in between these 2 panels than this one here. If that bothers you, then you're definitely going to want to measure it out. But for me, I feel like I'm fine. It's okay. All right, so then I'm going to take a small piece of white cardstock. Depending on what you're using for your sentiment, you can use whatever piece you want. I'm just going to grab my Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm going to ink this up. Now, the sentiment that I'm using, it says, "No one deserves a happier birthday than you." And this is from our Flowering Tulips stamp set. And I love the sentiment, and I love the size of it. I love that it's kind of a wider sentiment. I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut off a little bit off the ends. Okay, so it says, "No one deserves a happier birthday than you." You can use any sentiment you like. Okay, you don't have to use this one. Do I have enough? Let me see. I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take 1/2 inch off of the remaining piece. I'm flipping it around, and I'm using this pattern here. This is on Mango Melody, and I'm going to cut off 1/2 inch. And I'm going to cut it again to about 3.5 inches. So this does not have to be precise. It's going to be dependent on whatever piece you use for your sentiment. Okay. And then I just want to stick this down just so that I can add a little bit of color. And because I have the designer series paper, I might as well use it. So I'm going to take a strip of adhesive and just stick that down so that it just creates a fun little pop of color behind the sentiment. Okay, just going to trim off a tiny bit, give this a little bit of a haircut, and then I'm going to stick this onto my card. Okay, so this is how easy it is to create a card when you have note cards and envelopes. Okay, so you just need the note cards, you need your patterned paper, and then any stamp set and ink you would like. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of white twine, if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of white twine, and I'm just going to tie a little bow. And this is totally optional. You don't even have to embellish it. I would say this is a pretty cute card on its own. And I myself would love to receive a card that looked like that. So I'm sure your friends and family would as well. So I'm going to take my glue dots, and if you don't have glue dots, you can use a little dab of liquid glue, or you could even just use the tiniest strip of, not even strip, but like a little dot of adhesive. Okay, so I'm just adding because I like to embellish and because I have tons of stuff to use. Oh, so I should tell you, I got busy decluttering my craft room. It's still a work in progress. It's not anywhere near done. But I started decluttering my craft room this weekend because what I realized is that I have so much stuff, and it's actually making me feel overwhelmed every time I come into my craft room. And so Friday night, I spent time pulling off all my retired product from the holiday catalog and putting in the new mini catalog product. And so I don't even remember where I was going with this. I had a point. It'll come to me. Oh, I think I was saying I have so many embellishments. And so I just couldn't believe how much stuff I have, how many ribbons and gems and papers and all of that. So I am determined to use it all. So that is a really simple card using a note card and envelope. And now I'm going to show you one that's a little bit more stepped up. So I would say this is kind of a level 1 card where you need some basic tools and supplies. Embellishments are optional. And then I'm going to show you option 3, which is a more stepped up card. And then stick around to the end because I'm going to show you an option 2, which is kind of in between. I'm just wanting to get started on option 3 because it's a little bit more of a stepped up card. Okay. So I will show you what I'm using. My desk isn't complete. Oh, I did say I was going to use this for the envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this part here, and I'm going to actually use my liquid glue. And this is just, again, a really quick and easy hack for how to use your designer series paper and to create a coordinated envelope. So I'm just adding some liquid glue to the flap of the envelope. I feel like I haven't done this in a long time on one of my live crafting shows. And then I'm just going to stick this down like so. Just add a little bit of pressure with your fingertips so that it sticks down really well. You don't want to put too much glue towards the edges because then it'll ooze out from the side and it'll gum up your scissors. Okay. So here we go. Good morning, Carol Ann. Oh, good morning, Antoinette. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're catching me too. So I am just decorating my envelope here. If you did miss any of the first part, I am going to be showing you the cards at the end, and you can always go back and catch the replay either on YouTube or Facebook. And okay, just I guess I can't talk and cut at the same time. All right. Now, how cute is this? I just find this paper just makes me so happy. And we've got a cute little card here using one small piece of designer series paper. And then we were able to use more of that designer series paper for the flap of the envelope. You can do this with any paper you have. The layout allows you to, kind of go a long way with your paper. Okay. So stepped up card using the same layout is this one here. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I put this together. It's not actually a very complicated card. I would just say that there are multiple steps that I decided to do here. So for those of you that are more kind of avid crafters, this might be more your jam. And I think it's pretty cute. So I'm just starting with a Misty Moonlight card base, and then I've already taken a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock and I've just embossed it using my cut and emboss machine. So I'm just going to go ahead and burnish this, and then I'll set this aside because we will get working on that after. Then I'm going to take my designer series paper again, and I'm going to cut it to 3 1/4 inches. Excuse me. And then cut this way to 4 1/2. Okay, again, you're just going to slide this over. We're going to cut this into 3 panels. So you're going to take off 1/4 inch off either side. And then you'll be left with 2 inches in the middle. Okay, so we've got this ready to go. So it's again the same layout, just using it in a slightly stepped up card. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to die cut some of the rainbow arcs. Now, the new Rainbows of Happiness bundle is so beautiful and so fun. I have had a blast using it so far. So it has a stamp set, and then it's got coordinating dies. For this card, I'm not using the actual stamped arcs of the rainbow, but I'm using the sentiment that says, "You make me happy." But I want to show you a little hack. So we have adhesive sheets, and I'm going to just... let's see, I'm going to just kind of eyeball this. Hopefully I have it the right size. Yeah. And I'm just going to cut this off because I don't want the adhesive to kind of go into this open area. And so this is our metallic specialty paper. It's rose gold. And I'm just going to peel this off. And then it reveals a sticky side. So this comes in sheets of 6 by 12. And then you peel off one side and it'll create this kind of adhesive, like a tacky side. And you stick that down to the back of whatever it is you want to cut out. And then grab your dies. So I'm using this die here. And I'm going to cut this out with my cut and emboss machine. I'm just going to actually do that over at the side, and then I will come right back. So one of the benefits of doing this is that you then don't have to fight with your liquid glue to actually stick it down onto your card. So I'm just going to run this through. And I've got my rainbows cut out here. You could kind of just pull them right out. I'm going to use 3 out of the 4. I'm not going to use the smallest one. And I already have my adhesive now stuck down to the back. Okay, so it's that simple. Again, I would say this is probably a little bit more of a casual to avid card. So you will need to have some, some of your basic tools here to be able to do that. The other thing I forgot to do was to cut out my clouds. So in this set of dies, the Brilliant Rainbows dies, there are also these cute little cloud dies, which I'm also going to do. I should have done this all at once. And just going to run this through. Darlene, you keep forgetting to do it with your envelopes too. It's funny because like I said, I haven't done this on I haven't done it in any of my live crafting shows recently because clearly I had forgotten as well. And then I just thought, well, how can we use this extra piece of designer series paper? And then I realized that that would be a good way to use it. Okay, so let me just start to put some things together here. I'm going to use my liquid glue again. And okay, so Allison's saying I make 6 of each. I will use up retired designer series paper as well to clear room for more. Yes, of course. And that will help you feel less stressed at Christmas time. That's a great idea. Sometimes for Christmas cards, I participate in a lot of swaps, card swaps, and then I end up having all of these amazing cards left over, like not left over, but I have these amazing cards. So I did a few card swaps for the holiday catalog, and I had this huge basket of cards that are just stunning. And I was like, what am I going to do with these? I can't keep them. And so I sent a lot of those out to customers and friends and family, and, was able to use those cards and not waste them. So, okay. So I'm just going to back this onto a mat that measures 1/4 of an inch larger. So you know how we cut our first piece of designer series paper to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. This is actually measuring 3 1/2 by 5 inches. And the reason I did 5 is because I'm leaving spaces in between the panels. So I didn't want them to be too kind of squished in together. I would love to hear what you think of this color combination. I am a huge fan of Petal Pink with Misty Moonlight. I think it's just such a great combination. And then for your sentiment, you can kind of introduce any other color you want. Any other subtle would be really nice, or even a bright pop of color. I'm going to show you 2 options. All right. Oh my goodness. I'm getting this notification that my MacBook is going to die if I don't plug it in. So hang on. Okay. Let's see if we can do this and save the stream from getting cut off. Okay, there we go. So now I'm just going to stick down. I did that midway. Okay. There we go. That was almost a disaster. I forgot that I had just stuck that down. Okay, here we go. So now we've got the background for our card. And I'm just going to stick this down, and then we can do our focal point, which is these gorgeous rose gold metallic rainbow arcs, I guess. Okay. So sticking that down like that. Now, I have used a piece of vellum. This is totally optional, but I took a piece of vellum and I die cut that using our scalloped contours dies. And oh my goodness, that was almost a huge disaster. So I'm going to now take the backing off of these arcs and stick them down onto the vellum before I stick it onto the card. Okay, so I'm just using my take your pick tool, and it peels right off, and then it'll stick right down to my vellum label or vellum scalloped rectangle. Okay, so that's stuck down real good. I don't need to add any kind of glue or other adhesive to it. The adhesive sheets do the job, and they're pretty good and sticky, so these will not come off. And then I just have my fingernails won't pull the backing on their own, so I use the piercing tip of the take your pick tool. So just going to do that there, and then whoops, here we go. And then I'll do the same thing here. So this is our third one. You could use the fourth if you want. I mean, why not, right? There's a little bit more sparkle on your card. Let's see. Nope, I've lost it. Okay, that's okay. We're going to go with 3. And then I'm going to stick down my clouds. Just using a little bit of liquid glue. I'll do one here. And then I'm going to do one a little bit lower. Shirley says pink is her favorite color combo. So of course pink is her favorite color. So of course she loves this color combo. There's a reason you and I get along so well. Okay. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue, and I'm only adding the glue behind where I know the vellum is covered. So either behind the rainbow or the clouds. And then I'm just going to stick that down onto my card and then just let it sit. So one little hack I have for when you're sticking down kind of more intricate things, or even just layers using liquid glue, is just take a clear block and just press it down on there so that you can add some weight to it and everything will kind of stick down evenly. So then I'm going to take my white twine and tie a little bow I love twine. I love using twine. There was a time where we had all of these different striped twines. It was like basic gray and white, or pool party and white, or pink and white. And I just wanted all the twine all the time. It's so fun. I know some people don't love it because it's quite thin and can be a bit finicky, but I really do like it. Okay, so now I'm just taking this, I'm sticking it down with a glue dot and putting it onto my card. And the last thing I'm going to do, second last thing, is to add my sentiment. So I've already heat embossed this in advance. If you are not familiar with heat embossing, or you would like a video on specifically like some heat embossing tips, let me know and I will put one together, because it's a really fun technique to do. And it's quite easy. I'm actually going to pull off this mini dimensional here because I want to be able to go over the bow and not get too lumpy in the middle. Okay, so there we go. I've used pool party for this sentiment. And the last thing I'm going to do is find my iridescent rhinestones. These are these brand new jewels that have come out in our mini catalog, and they're gorgeous. I feel like I'm probably going to need to buy like 6 packs of these, because I'll be devastated if they sell out. They're so pretty. So now I'm just maybe putting one there, and the card is done. So you can see how I took that simple layout and stepped it up a little bit with a few more steps, where I added some texture embossing. I did a little bit of a die cut here for the label, and then added some sparkly rose gold rainbows. So I just thought that that turned out really cute. And this was the first one I had done with the So Saffron. So you can see it with the 2 different colors of sentiments. We've got the So Saffron and the Pool Party. And I just thought that that was a super cute card. I loved it. So let me show you the first card we did, which was super simple. And this is just using our note cards and envelopes. And you can see how you just take that layout and you can create a really quick and easy card. And you can mass produce cards like that, which I don't know about you guys, but when I'm starved for time, if I can find a hack that will help me to mass produce cards quickly, that is my jam. I love doing that. I told you I would show you another card that is a little bit of an in-between card. So this is where if you do have colored cardstock and you want to create your own card bases, you can absolutely do that. I still put the designer series paper on a white mat, and then I did the same little trick with the another piece of designer series paper where I just kind of added it behind. And then I took one of our new doilies. These are from the Heart and Home bundle, and I might have put them away, but I just cut a little piece of the doily. Did I put them away? No, never mind. They're right here. So these are our Heart and Home doilies, and you can see I just cut off the smallest piece of that doily. You could probably get 4 cards out of one doily if you want to do it this way, and that just adds a little bit of a fun element. You could also flip it over and use the white side of the doily, so it just adds a fun little detail. And I use the same sentiment here: no one deserves a happier birthday than you, and just used a different pattern of the designer series paper. Hello, Rita. Thank you for sharing. So those are the cards. Really, really simple. I am wanting to just check to see if when you cut that piece of designer series paper, can we still do our envelope flap? Where's my envelope gone? Here we go. So when you cut it this way, you can still also, you know what? I'm going to do this because if I don't do it now, I never will. You can also use the leftover from that designer series paper piece. So you use part of it for your card and then use what's left of it to create a fun envelope. And I'm just going to do that here. And you just have this really fun coordinated look. Sorry, I took a little bit of a detour. I was almost ending, and then I was like, wait, we need to do this. So I've just taken what's left over and I'm just pressing that down. And I'm going to use my scissors here to cut the shape of the flap. And that's a really great way to use up your leftover designer series paper. You can also create another card with that strip if you wanted. You could take that same strip and create another card with it. So now we've got this gorgeous coordinated card. I would love to hear from you guys. Which color did you like better? Did you like the pool party sentiment or the So Saffron? Tell me in the comments which color sentiment you liked better. And don't forget to let me know if you've shared the video, because I am going to be doing a drive to catch up on last week's as well. But I will do a draw for a winner of one of these cards and I will mail it out to you. Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys liked it. Let me flip this back so that I can say goodbye. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And thank you for all the love. I'm seeing all the hearts and the thumbs up. I appreciate that so much. I'm always grateful to be able to spend my Sunday mornings with all of you. I'll be back here. Well, I do Wednesdays and Sundays. So if you're watching for the first time, I do 2 Facebook Lives a week, and I guess they're now YouTube Lives. So Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. I do a live crafting show. And so feel free to join me live this week ahead. And if not, you can always catch the replay. And speaking of which, if you are watching the replay, please let me know in the comments below so that I know who's watching. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you all have a fabulous day and week ahead. Stay safe, stay well. Make sure you make some time for yourself and to do something you love, whether that's crafting or knitting or whatever it is that you love to do. Make sure you make some time for yourself. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.